Every single person watching this video has tried to change something about themselves and failed, not once, many times, and you probably think the problem is discipline or consistency or motivation. It's not. Today, I'm going to show you the exact biological mechanism that have been stopping you and the 4-step process to reverse it. This is the thing nobody is talking about in the self-improvement space. And nobody teaches us because nobody actually understands it. How to actually change a belief. A process nobody teaches you and why nothing worked before it. You already know what you need to do. You watched all the courses, you read all the books, you know exactly what you want to do and what you need to do, but you don't do it. This is the exact gap. You need to wake up early, work daily, stop procrastinating, stop scrolling on reels, eat clean, build the thing you want, live your dream. You can distract every step you need to go in detail. But what you do in actuality, you're inconsistent, you're breaking streak, weeks of progress followed by just disappearing on yourself, back to zero, again and again and again and again. You are just yo-yoing around your goals and your dreams. The gap between knowing and doing is not information problem. It is not a motivation problem. It's a structural problem. It always goes the same way. First, you decide to change something. It feels different this time, real conviction. You tell everyone, and then you go to step 2, progress. First week is strong, you see early signs, it's working, identity starts to shift. Then the wall, something disrupts the rhythm, one bad day, one missed day, one bad outcome, and resistance just spikes. And then you start to retreat. You don't fight through it, the momentum is just breaking. Days pass, the habit just dissolves. And in the end, you come back to the same place. Weeks later, you're exactly where you started, with a new story about why it didn't work this time. Everyone gives you the wrong diagnosis. The answer everyone gives you. You need more discipline, you're not consistent enough, find a way, make it emotional. Like David Goggins, you need to prove them. Better, you need to build a better habits. You need to use a system. Just do the habit for 21 days. You need to read more, watch more, consume more, consume. Every one of those addresses the output. None of them touches the source. This is why you feel in your right, it doesn't going to work. The actual source is your paradigm. Most people are looking at your life, at the actual results, but behavior is a downstream. It all starts with your paradigm, how you see yourself and the world. Then it's going to translate to your perception, what you notice and filter out. It's going to go downstream to your options, what you believe is available to you. And it's going to directly dictate your decisions, what you choose based on those options. And then it's going to dictate your actions, what you actually do. And then is going to impact on your result. Most people try to change on here, only on the behavioral level. Do you see? It's just stupid right now. You see how much it's just dumb. So today we are going to focus on the real fix, on the paradigm, on the belief system, on the belief level. How the loop works against you. A belief is not an opinion. People think belief is something like an opinion, something that can be dissolved or ignored. No, belief is a physical structure in your brain. It's not a conscious choice. It's built through accumulated experience, not something you just decide you're going to change. It's not a positive or negative attitude, it just runs automatically, no non-conscious input. It's not something vague and hard to pin down. It directly dictates your behavior. In practice, if you don't know the mechanism of which belief dictates behavior automatically below your willpower. This is how beliefs are built. I'm going to change your entire existence. Experience fills the bucket. You have belief that says you are capable, you have belief that says you are not capable. It's like that with every belief. Even if you can play soccer, if you can play baseball, if you can cook, if you can do math, everything, like mathematics, not crystal, everything is in those buckets. On positive experiences or negative experiences. Whatever bucket is heavier wins. On the positive end, as you can see, I finished it, I pushed through. If we are speaking about the capable belief, that's actually worked. I did it again. In the negative side, you see all of those experiences. And the bucket that is heavier is going to dictate what are your beliefs on that subject. This is just crazy to think about. Sorry. Your brain cannot tell the difference between real experiences and vividly imagined experiences they build identical natural pathways. Real failure or imaginary rehearsal of it, the brain counts. As you can see, you try something once, it doesn't work, real event, one data point, you replay the failure in your head over and over again, dread it before trying again. The brain counts. One real failure, 50 imagined replays, you know how it is, and 51 experiences of failing. The pathway is now as strong as 51 real failures. You have been filling the wrong bucket. The reason, as you can see, the real reason you are stuck. You are filling the wrong bucket. You are imagining failure before starting. This is just the worst. Every time you think about starting something and your mind goes to, what if it doesn't work? Like, you know what? It's a negative experience being poured in. You're replaying past attempts. This is the thing you're probably doing the most of. You're replaying conversations, past attempts, failures, embarrassing moments. Every time you revisit the memory of stopping or embarrassing yourself or fumbling a girl, and you feel the shame, you feel the disappointment of it, you add the count of failures to your bucket and you start believing more. And as we visit beforehand, it's changing your behavior and thus changing your reality. You're comparing yourself to where you should be. This is the biggest PS there is. Every time you measure the gap between where you are and where you want to be with frustration, you confirm that belief that you are not enough. You are not measuring up. This is the self-confirming loop. I'm going to put myself inside the loop. Why the loop is almost impossible to break from the inside. Belief, I don't follow through, action, inconsistent, low effort, early quitting, result, confirms the pattern, nothing is sustained, evidence, you have the evidence, then the cycle just continue. Every cycle make it even stronger, and every cycle make it even harder to stop. You're using a finite resource against the 24/7 system. Your willpower against your belief loop. As you can see right here, this is just a failed attempt to try to use a real willpower and discipline, like you are David Goggins or something. And that's why you keep failing. The loop works both directions. If the loop can compound failure, it can compound success. The mechanism is identical, only the output changes. The current loop Weak belief, weak action, poor results, confirmed on weak belief, even weaker action the next time. And in this video, after this video, we're going to create a new loop inside of you of a strong belief on yourself, a strong action, a better result. You're going to confirm the strong belief because you're going to act on it, and the action you're going to take the next time is going to be even stronger. Your belief is a transmission frequency. It's going to be a little bit crazier. It's going to go in on a deeper level. Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland introduced a concept that goes beyond psychology. Right now we spoke about psychology and the brain structure, how it actually builds, and right now I'm going to dive a little deeper into the metaphysical universe, the alternative space. All possible versions of your life already exist as a potential realities. You are not creating your future, you are navigating towards one of those versions. Thought energy is a frequency. Every belief you hold becomes a repeating pattern of thought energy. That energy turns you, like a radio dial, to a specific sector of possible reality. The mirror principle, the external world reflects your dominant internal state, not your desires, not your goals, your actual daily baseline, what you radiate without even thinking. What this means for the loop. When your belief is, I don't follow through, you are actually tuning to a lifeline where that is confirmed. The world arranging itself to prove you're right, not through magic, through the filter of your perception and action. As you can see, this thing that I'm trying to explain you is right on every level, on psychological level, on neurobiological level, and in the metaphysical level. And this is what I'm trying to achieve with you. My name is Salvador, and I am a professional brainwasher that helps pros like movie stars, soccer players, businessmen to achieve the next level via brainwashing on those three realms: psychological, bio, on the brain level, and metaphysical. How to break the loop and build a new one. 4 steps, not dramatic, but all 4 must happen in order. The 4-step loop rewrite. So step number 1, locate. Find the exact belief that is running the loop. Step number 2, stop. Stop feeding the existing belief with a daily negative rehearsal. This is the most important. You need to just stop. You need to fill all of the holes. Imagine your life is a ship. You have all of those holes of negative self-talk, and you need to just shut them down, because water are running inside the boat before you can go to your destination. You need to inject new experiences, imagined and real ones, into the opposite bucket. And you need to guard your new belief from the environment that would around it. You cannot change what you can't name. Most people experience the effects on their belief without ever seeing the belief itself. Here is the tool to find it. Your life is your result, where you keep ending up in this area. Your actions, what you have been doing. Your decisions, what you choose based on what seems to be available. Perceived options, what options you actually see as optional for you. Your thoughts, what you think about this area regularly. And your perception, how you see this area of your life. And your belief, your core assumptions, produces all of those above. There is a belief that sits above all others, a meta belief. I can change. Beliefs are not permanent. What I am today is not what I have to be tomorrow. If you don't believe that belief can be changed, every technique that follows will fail. The brain physically rewrite throughout your entire life. It's neuroplasticity. If you don't know what the terms means, I'm not going to explain it in this video. You can search it up yourself. Neural pathways are built by repetition, which means they can be built differently. You have already changed many beliefs over your lifetime without even noticing. The belief that you cannot change is itself a belief, which means it is also changeable. Start by installing this one first. This meta belief, everything else dependent on that. All of your goals, all of your desires, the reality you desire is dependent if you're going to believe the words that coming out of my mouth right now. You need to believe you can change your beliefs. Thus, you can change your life. This is the most important thing you're going to hear today. So pay attention. Don't scroll down to the comment. Just sit here and absorb it. You can change your beliefs and it's going to affect all of your life. I gave you all of the evidence I need to give you. Just do it. Step 2. Stop. Stop the bleeding before you build everything new. You cannot fill a new bucket while the old one is draining the energy. Identify where you are adding negative experiences to the loop daily and stop. Replaying failed attempts, like we just said, imagining failure in advance, measuring the gap with contempt. With contempt, yeah. Just read it really quickly. I think you already understand because we talked about it beforehand. The most powerful tool you have never used correctly, Vadim, Zeland call it target slide. The neuroscience call it mental rehearsal. Both point to the same mechanism. Imagine experiences with emotional intensity builds a real belief. We are talking about neuroscience, metaphysics. We are talking about psychology. All of those things points to the same direction. You need to do this drill. You need to state the thing, a statement from inside the new identity. Not I want to become, but I am becoming. Present tense, first person specific. You need to imagine a vivid scene in which you're already the person who has the belief. Not watching it from outside, actually inside it, from your own eyes, like third person shooter and not third person shooter. In first person, full sensory, in detail. Feel the detail, smell the smells, feel it inside of your hands. If you're going to imagine a cup, feel it. Feel the cold of your cup. Feel it. It's moist. Feel it. And the emotion, the feeling of already having it, relief, confidence, ease, not performance, real psychological feeling. English is not my first language. This is what makes the experience register in the bucket. Affirmation fail because they skip the experiments. What most people do. I am confident. I am confident. I am confident. Like Bart Simpson on The Simpsons on the wall. They write it down like morons. The bucket doesn't going to feel like the brain is not going to create a new pathways with writing this like totally broad thing. You're going to say the statement once, immediately enter, imagine scene, feel it as real, stay in it for 2 to 3 minutes, let the emotion register fully, and it's actually going to change the structure of your brain. I know it's hard to hold on this belief, this new tool that I'm giving to you right now. It seems too easy, but the truth always seems to us as simple. Try to remember all the truths you know from your life. All of them are quite simple, and this truth is going to be simple as also. Simple and easy. Everything is simple and easy. Online, everyone tries to convince you that everything needs to be complicated and hard, and you need to be hard. Who's going to carry the boats? No. This is easy as that. How to run a slide correctly. You need to choose a belief to instill, not 5. You can choose 5 after you're already doing it for a while. Right now I'm instilling like 10 simultaneously, but start with 1. You need to go to write it in a present tense, like the slide says, like an identity. I'm the kind of person who finishes what it starts. You need to enter, this is the most important one. You need to enter the scene from inside. Close your eyes. Imagine from your eyes a specific moment in which you're already living this belief. Not in the future, in the present. You are in the room, what you see, what you're doing. You don't need, but the presentation is doesn't telling that, but you cannot imagine what was the mechanism that led you to this result. Like me, I cannot imagine this YouTube channel is going to bring me millions and millions and millions of dollars. I just need to imagine that I have those millions and millions and millions of dollars. Not by YouTube video, because I don't care if it's going to be successful or not, because I am that confident that my goals are going to be accomplished. But I'm not giving too much weight to anything. This I'm going to explain it in a different video, but right now just trust me on that one, okay? You need to add sensory detail. If you are imagining you're on the sand on Thailand, you're lying down, you need to feel the sand, you need to feel the heat, you need to hear the waves, you need to hear the water, you need to generate the emotion. You don't need to perform like you feel it, you need to actually generate it. The emotion, it what was actually register this experience in your mind. You need to run it twice, morning and night, before sleep and after you wake up. It's the most easy one to do. If you're going to do it midday, you're not going to stick to it. Let's be honest. Let's just do it while you wake up, before you start the day. It's supposed to be enjoyable because you're actually going to feel how it is to accomplish what you want to accomplish. So it's going to be easy. Mental rehearsal alone is not enough. The brain needs both. Imagine experience. We're going to attack it from all areas. You need to do real action, real daily action to confirm it. In this YouTube channel, we're going to speak about how you can do the action in ease. You're going to do it not to feel like it's an uphill battle. You're going to do it in actual ease. I'm going to teach you this is the first or second video into this channel. If you have more videos in this channel, I highly recommend you to watch them, because I'm going to explain how to actually do the daily tasks you need to do to change your belief in ease. The action does not need to produce results yet. It needs to produce experience. You're not doing the action to get results. You're doing it to fill the green bucket with real evidence that you are the person you're becoming. One action per day, not 10, not a full routine. One action that the evolved version of you does reliably. Small enough that you cannot fail. And it's really important. I know you're regular to overcomplicate, and you see all of those routines from Andrew Huberman or from Andrew Tate or all of this bullshit. Don't overcomplicate this thing. You need to do the smallest thing you can do to go one step in a time towards your goal. Make it non-negotiable. This action happens regardless of mood, energy, or whatever you feel like it. Feelings are output of your identity. You are building the identity before the feelings follow. Track it without drama. Mark it down. No celebration. No celebration. I'm going to explain in other videos why. No shame. If you're not achieving it, you shouldn't feel shame. Just cold, surgical. Done. Not done. You're building a record of evidence. Consistent, quiet, steady this time, without any excess emotions attached to it. This record is the experience going to the bucket. Let's put myself in the middle again. The same mechanism, the same machine that broke you rebuilds you. That's life, man. New belief. I am someone that follows through. Stronger action, better results, new evidence. every cycle going to make you stronger, your belief stronger. The exact same mechanism, just pointed on the opposite direction. A new belief is fragile at first. I don't want to sell you dreams. A new belief is actually very fragile. At first, you are building the neural pathway, the old one, curve over years. Imagine it like the Grand Canyon that curves over years and years and years and years of consistent stream. Your new Grand Canyon, let's say, is not going to overweigh the current one immediately. It's going to take a little bit of time. You need to just going to repeat it over years. Everything in your environment that confirmed your old belief is a threat to the new one. People who reinforce your old identity, anyone who references the old versions of you, of who you were, even with affection, is feeding the old bucket. You don't have to cut them off, but you don't have to respond to their framing. Content that confirms the loop. The self-improvement content ecosystem is designed to keep you wanting more, consume more. The algorithm try to keep you on the apps. It's just a vicious algorithm. It's designed to keep you wanting to keep on improving, not finish your journey with self-improvement. Motivation content doesn't produce action. If it were, you weren't watching me talking your head off on a video. Stop it. Your own post-failure narrative. This is the worst. When you miss a day or a week, how you narrate it matter. I always do it. I missed. Like, stop being a total bitch about it. You missed. No shame. You are the man. Go. Again and again. It's going to be easy if you're going to go with this energy, I swear. When the new belief changes, the world changes. Zeland framework is not mystical. It is a description of what psychology and physics already pointed towards. When I read Reality Transurfing, I didn't look at it like all of those things, the apples that go to the sky, if you know, you know, is a magical like Bible transcription. No, I looked at it after I learned psychology, after I learned neuroscience, and I just understood that all of those fields, the metaphysics, the psychology, the neuroscience, everyone points to the same direction. Everyone. Your dominate internal state. Your actual belief running continuously is the signal you transmit into the alternative space. When the belief changes, the signal changes, and you're going to navigate slowly to the lifeline that you want to be in. You tune to a different lifeline. You begin navigating towards the section of the alternative space. You don't need to know exactly what Zeland says, but I can tell you, if you're going to simply rehearse it again and again and again, you're going to go to a different life. You're going to see everything around you is falling apart, but everything is changing. Just crazy. I went it myself, and I can say from my perspective, it's pretty crazy. It takes time, but it's guaranteed. I guarantee you, it's actually going to work. The material world changes slowly. Believe in still today does not transform reality tomorrow, but the direction of travel changes immediately. And the compound effect is just unstoppable. What to expect and when? If you're going to do it exactly like I said so, you can expect it. Day 1 to 7, nothing feels different yet. Day 8 to 30, small behavioral shifts. 30 to 90, noticeable identity shift. In between 3 to 6 months, only 3 to 6 months. You know, this is not a lot of time. The loops run in the new direction. the behavior is not longer feel like an effort. You don't feel like you are fighting all day long with your habits, and you try to instill all of those, and you try to run to the next video. You can stop watching self-improvement videos, except my channel. You can stop. And that's going to be the first time that you're going to feel actually free. Every day the loops runs, it gets harder to break. You need to start today. The neural pathway for the old self-belief is constantly being reinforced right now, today, without your permission. At 25, this is the identity problem. At 35, it starts to look like a personality. At 45, most people stop noticing. The content you consume and get motivated is designed to keep you wanting, not to make you change. Every hour spent wanting and watching David Goggins runs through the neighborhood and shouts things is going to just keep your loop running. The person who break the loop at 24 and the person who break it at 34 have the same capability. Don't tell me you are old and this is how you are. They do not have the same, they have the same trajectory. I think I'm mistaken here. The process, all of it, you can see. I'm going to summarize. This is all you know from this video. Behavior is downstream. Belief is built from experience. The loop is self-confirming. The break requires only 4 easy steps. The slide works, but only with 3 components. The slide, actually I didn't write it down, but the slides work from 3 different angles: the metaphysical, in the neuroscience, and in psychology. The words mirror your internal state. The question is whether you have the process to run it. Understanding the loop without structured process to break it, it is like understanding why your car won't start without having tools. The course is the tools. The loop doesn't break itself. Thank you very much for watching today, and see you in the next one.